Hi, this is Lisa from Punk Creation and welcome back. So this week's POWERTEX transformation is a mirror that I have salvaged from my father-in-law, and my husband informs me that it was in his bathroom growing up. So, and by looking at this panelling, just move the POWERTEX out of the way, by looking at this panelling here, I'm going by 1970s. Okay, so what my father-in-law has done, he's taken a big sheet of mirror and he's put this panelling over the top and he's cut out the circular shape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to POWERTEX the outside all the way around and just make it look modern and nice and refreshed, ready for my new craft room that I'm having built. So what I've done is I've just covered, I wasn't sure how the POWERTEX would take to this panelling because it's not plasticky, but if anyone knows anything about 1970s panelling, then you'll understand. It's got that weird sort of texture on the top, so I'm not sure how the POWERTEX would have taken to it. So I've covered the whole thing in a masking tape. Now the masking tape I've got is nice and thick, and if you're new to POWERTEX, masking tape is probably one of the best tools you can get because it helps so much with POWERTEX adhering to the surface. Okay, now the POWERTEX I'm using is this one here. Okay, and this one is called bluish grey. Absolutely love this colour, and when it dries it is quite a dark grey, but it's gonna look beautiful. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour some out on this tray, and I've given it a good shake, so just pour it out on there. And I'm just going to paint a thin layer over this masking tape. Now I've masked the mirror as well because I don't want POWERTEX on the mirror. It'll come off if I do get it on there, but I don't want to be scratching at the mirror trying to get the POWERTEX off. So I'm going to do that just by, there we go, just like that. Okay. Not too thick. Oops, that's it. Throw the POWERTEX over the desk. It's because I've got such a long brush, it caught on one of my projects at the side. So I'm just painting just a very, very, very thin layer over that. And then once I've done that, I can start choosing my fabric that I want to go on there. Okay, so I'll do that and I'll be right back. So I've painted the outside of the mirror with the grey POWERTEX, as you can see, and I'm just doing my placement now of my textures. So I have here some corrugated card, and what I've done is I've cut out 4 pieces, or I've torn 4 pieces with right angles for the corners of the mirror so that they are symmetrical. You can just see those. Excuse the bits and pieces on my desk. And then in the centre here I've just collected lots of different textures. So this is a paper deco that you can get from the POWERTEX website. Once this is dry it creates just beautiful texture. So I've picked out a handful of that. I've got some, it's straw type material. It's not straw, but it's not plastic. It's a natural fibre, but I'm not quite sure what it is. Then here I've got some old t-shirt from the boys. I've got some cheesecloth. I've got some netting that I got from Wilkinson's during Halloween. So it's very soft, but it's pure cotton. Okay, but I think it's sort of like, if I hold it up, it's sort of like a cobweb design. Stockingette, again you can get this on the POWERTEX website. Got some Hessian, beautiful lace, some plain white t-shirt, and then I've got some lace here as well. So what I will now do is take bits of this texture and just place it roughly where I want it. So I'm going to pop some POWERTEX into my tray. I've given it a shake off camera. Okay, I'll use a bit more than that. Okay, and I'm going to start by putting down my pieces that I want on the bottom. I like to overlap the pieces as well. So we'll just grab a paintbrush and we're just going to pop a little bit on that corner. I don't think you can see, can you? Ah, there we go, you can see that now. Okay, so this is corrugated cardboard. My full-time business, I'm self-employed. My full-time business, I run a snack van. So I have cardboard coming out of my ears. And so anytime I need corrugated card, I can use those snack boxes. So that's going to go on there, and it's just gone out of frame, I can see. So let's move it back just so that you can see. There we go. So we're just putting some POWERTEX on the top there. I'm actually got quite a bit of pressure on the paintbrush, trying to get it into the fibres of that card. Because you run the risk of, if the POWERTEX isn't all the way through the fibres, it doesn't get hard. Okay, so you kind of just work it in there. So how is everybody? How's the weather where you are? We've got storms here today, so you never know whether it's going to be beautiful sunshine, or tipping down with rain. It's windy 1 second and then it's not. Doesn't really know what it wants to do. Right. We're going to put some POWERTEX onto this paper deco. Put it on with my paintbrush. And then I'm just going to work it in with my hands. I don't want to stretch out too much, but just because of the look I want, you know, you can really stretch this out, and actually with another piece I'll show you how to do that. But I'm not going to dunk the whole thing, I'm just applying it with my fingers because I don't want it soggy. Okay, and then we're just going to attach it. Don't want it on my desk. Attach it to there. Okay, and then we've got these little bits here. Just going to dip these in, massage them with my fingers like this, and then we can add that to the top. All these little bits of fibres and stuff, I use it all. All adds to the final texture of the piece. You know, I don't worry that if it's right or wrong, just pop it on there. And what I like to do is I like to overlap stuff, just lift things. You've got a little bit of time before it starts to set, and then you can sort of overlap it and stick it underneath so it doesn't look as if you've just plonked it on the top. So I'm going to carry on doing that, and then I'll pop back in a bit. So the outside of the mirror is finished in terms of fabric textures. I'll just run quickly around for you just so that you can see. So I've used lace, this bit here is lace, and then we've got bigger bits of lace here. We've got a fabric heart there, which is like a 3D heart that I found. I've got bits of bandage, bits of linen. Okay, so now what I'm doing is just putting on some embellishments, and I've pulled out bits of embellishment here. I might not use all of this, but there's not a lot here compared to the size of the mirror. These are from clock sets that I did classes on ages ago. You can get these on the POWERTEX website. I absolutely love random numbers on my work. Have no idea why. And then there's this spiral which comes in the same clock sets. And then I've got some clay bits and pieces here that I've made. Wooden embellishments, bits of old necklaces that I've ripped up. These corner pieces here, you can get these off the website too. So I've got one there and one there. And then in this corner, I found a bit of my son's old Carno set, so that's going to go there. So I'm going to stick these bits down, and then I'm just going to show you where I've placed them. So I finished off all the embellishments. So I've got the spring there, the butterfly and a washer, one of my little clay hearts. I've got some flowers, some chain, I've got a cross. I've tried to make sure that if I've got, for example, the number here, it's also in the other corner. As we go down here. Okay, and you can see these little red bits here. What I've used is some of the POWERTEX balls that come in different sizes and some sand, and I'm just spraying it with a bit of Bista. Now this is Bista. Again, you can get this on the website. And you spray it on. I'll show you. And you can obviously, you just add to it. Okay, so you spray it on like that, and then you dry it. You can leave it to dry naturally, or you can dry it with a hairdryer. So I'm going to go and dry that off camera just because it's so noisy, and then you can see the how it looks when I come back. So I've added some yellow Bista to this as well, and the idea of my mirror, I wanted it to look as if everything had gone rusty. So although I've used lots of different elements in this, I wanted it all to look like bits of metal and stuff. So if you can see, I don't know if you can see down here, so this was a wooden button, this one here was wooden, and the clay, and it looks quite metallic and quite rusty, and obviously this is far from finished, but I just wanted to show you the progress I was making. So this has had the coat of Bista. I've partly dried it with the hairdryer, and then what we'll do is when it's completely dry, I'll come back and we'll paint it. Hi, so I'm back. It's been a few days now. It's Wednesday night now. It was Monday night when I finished adding all the embellishments and fabrics to this mirror. and I'll just quickly do a run round for you. So this, if you remember, was an MDF butterfly, and because I've sprayed it with the brown and the yellow Bista, it looks kind of rusty. Get to that bit for you. I love it. It's probably my favourite part actually. So we'll go around. That was a bit of sort of like, not bone, it wasn't bone, but it was almost, it had that kind of texture to it, bit of an old necklace there. Just come along the bottom. So I wanted to go for a rusty kind of look. And I've got the basic sort of Bista on, and I'm going to colour it. So I'll just take you over to where my colours are. So my colours are here. So we've got the gold ink, we've got the Colour Tricks Pearly Red, we've got the gold, we've got the sienna, and then we've got this copper here. I've taken the lids off because I'm going to be doing it one-handed because I'm holding the phone, so I don't want it all to go everywhere. Bit of cling film with my varnish, and then we've got the turquoise there. The original's in my craft box, so I apologise about that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with the sienna. I'm putting a bit of varnish on my brush, dipping it into the sienna. Okay, and then I'm just making up the paint. Over to here, and we're just going to flat brush it all over. And the idea is I'm just trying to build up that richness of colour. Can you see how a little goes a very, very long way? Okay. Stand up for this. Sorry if you get the backgrounds of my craft room, it's a bit of a mess at the moment. I had it all organised, and then my son started taking down his room. Oh Mum, can you use that? Can you use that? I'll go and chuck it in the garage. You chuck it in the garage and it ends up coming my end of the garage, which is where I create, so you know, it was inevitable I guess, but annoying all the same. Now I'm gonna be honest, I've never used this sienna before on any of my projects, but look how rusty that looks now. That corrugated cardboard looks like corrugated metal, doesn't it? That's gorgeous. Love that. Okay. So yeah, as a POWERTEX tutor, I've never used sienna. I take it to all my classes, and my students use it, but I never have. So there we go. Every day's a school day. So I'm going to go over all of this sienna, and then I'll be right back. So I've done all the sienna. I'm then going to move on to the turquoise, just to give it a little bit of interest. Okay, so just up here I've got a little brush brush as well, just to blend it in, just to get that highlight in. Go in with a bit just on there. I've added a bit of turquoise to the spring there, and just to this bit of fabric here. Sorry, I was interrupted by the other half. I couldn't put the little one to bed, so I had to pause for a sec. I don't want to add loads of turquoise, and I want to blend it in really, really well. But these bits that do look particularly rusty, it's just getting it in there, just like on my, a little bit on my butterfly up there, just to highlight the edges. So we come down, we've got a little bit here, sorry, it's got a good one, huh? As you can see, a little bit of paint goes an awful long way. So again, I'm just going to add I also as well on here put a bit more Bista if I need it, just to, I'm not going mad with this turquoise, you know, I don't want a turquoise piece. A lot of my pieces are, so I don't want a turquoise piece, but it just really does bring out that metal look that I'm after. If you look at that piece now, that's a bit of wood. I'm getting my inspiration for these colours from the Ciao Bella Rust Collection papers that I've got, and I bought them to do a journal with, and I've done a bit of a journal with them. I haven't recorded it and put it on YouTube, but I did do a bit of a journal with it. And I just absolutely love the papers, so when I find the courage to use them up and not just to leave them in my stash, then I will. Right, I think that, oh no, I haven't done right at the top here, so let's do just a little bit there. And I'm running out on my brush. I don't want to apply anymore because, as I said, I don't want a turquoise piece of art. Okay, so that's the turquoise done. I'm just going to load my brush with my next colour and I'll be back. So my next colour is the Colourtrix Copper. I haven't cleaned my brush because I want it to blend in with the turquoise on my brush. So I'm just going over it just to highlight those bits sticking up. As you can see here, it just gives those bits sticking up a bit of glimmer, a bit of sparkle. We all need a bit of sparkle in our lives, don't we? There we go. That looks really beautiful with that turquoise. wish this was easy to do with one hand, but it's really not. That's far too much on there, Lisa, far too much. Come on, girl. So I'm still on the copper. So I'm just on the copper down here. Just to bring out that, as I said up there, just to bring out the textures on the top, really. Get into this bit here. I mean, this mirror is unrecognisable to the one that I nicked from my father-in-law. I think he was going to put it on his, put it in the skirt, eh? So I hope videos like this inspire you just to give new crafts a go, and especially in today's society when we like to recycle and we like to, you know, take old things and turn them into new. So I'm just going to go around now just so that you can see how we're getting on. It's really pretty, isn't it? Really, really pretty. Loving these bits and how just wooden embellishments or fabric embellishments all of a sudden look metallic. So I'm going to finish this off and then I'm going to take the masking tape off and see how it looks. Hi, so I've taken off the masking tape and unfortunately with the reflection in the mirror, I didn't think that through. This is the best way that I can show it to you. So I hope you can get it all, and it's just a shame that you can't see the full transformation, but it's come out really, really well. I hope you like it and you're inspired to do something similar. And if you are interested in one of the POWERTEX workshops around the country, just pop along to the website and you can find your local tutor. So thank you very much for joining me on this mirror transformation journey. And if you do like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and press that notification bell to receive all of my POWERTEX and journal projects, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks, bye.